Hi everyone, here's the video of the journal I posted yesterday. If you hear some noises in the background, they're doing construction across the street, so it never stops. So if you hear any noise, that's what it is. This is the third time I've attempted to video this, so I'm hoping the third time's the charm. The first two times my little flip camera just kind of stopped and I don't know why, so here's hoping we get through this one. This is the journal. It's made mostly, it's coffee dyed paper, Ephemeris Vintage Garden, Mabel's Diary, and one or two pieces of Tsunami Rose. I also added this Bow Bunny paper, and this is just a random one I found in my stash from Walmart. The cover is made of two of those green hanging file folders that I stitched together, and then the back I zoom in. You can see it. I used Tim Holtz distressed ink and walnut, and I distressed it all, and then I stamped some script and some chevron pattern on there, and then the gold is a kind of a tread stencil that I put on there, and then the gold is from, I think it'll go back down, there we go. The gold is from just Rub and Buff. You get it in the paint department, and then I put it on all the edges, and then I decoupaged over it. It's 9 by 5 with a 2-inch spine. There's 3 signatures stitched in, and on the spine I just tied 2 pieces of ribbon and then put a Tim Holtz bold pin with a tag that says Journey on it. The front, I just layered some burlap and the kit, and then somebody gave me these burlap buttons years ago, and I almost threw them away a couple months ago, and I thought, well, you never know, and I hung on to them, and now I'm glad I did, because they go really well with the burlap. It's got a Tim Holtz hitch fastener with a hair tie close. So let's go inside. I just I cut the inside green file folder shorter and then folded the outside one over to make a pocket. And the pages of the kit were a little wider than my cover, and so I just cut them off, and then I used them for decorations everywhere else in the book. I love using my scraps up. So this is just a pocket, and I used some lace on it from my grandmother, who used to work in a sewing plant. She brought home all these little teeny pieces of lace, so they're fun to use in a junk journal, and it makes me think of her when I use them. This is just a scrap piece of paper. And a piece of the kit. Tuck spot. I stamped the Paul & Lemon's corrugated cardboard lines, and then I stamped some script, and I stamped script on this ephemera to kind of tone it down, and then on the all the white parts I stamped so they weren't quite so white. And on this side, this is the Martha Stewart button punch. I love that thing. I use it all the time. And then I just kind of drew some flowers, petals around it, or for some color. And then there's a flip-up pocket. And this is another coffee filter butterfly that I stamped and with script, and then used some, there's this paint. It's watercolor paint that's pearlescent. I don't know what it's called because the label fell off. So I used it to put a little touch of red in there. And then this is a tag from the kit. And then this is just a scrap of paper, and I just needed some color. I needed the turquoise somewhere else, so I just put it there for some color. This is a tuck pocket, and I found these to-do lists at the dollar store. So, and I like them because they're craft color. So I stuck 5 of those in there. It's Martha Stewart butterfly punch with the flat back pearls. This is just a piece of coffee dyed paper. This is the damask bags. Put a tag from the kid on there. This is just another scrap piece of paper left over, coffee dyed paper. This is the EK Success label punch. I love that punch. I use it for a lot of stuff. That's that. And just a tuck spot with the banners that came in the kit. I did some... Oh. Now I can't think of it. Anyway, I did some... Oh, golly. Turn the camera on, my brain goes. On this butterfly, and it'll come to me in a minute. It changed colors, so I'm not embossed it. Anyway, and it changed colors. It's not Gloxy accent. It's the one you heat up. I don't know why I can't think of it. And so I didn't do it on any of the rest because I didn't really want it that browny orange color. This is another a tuck spot. And this is just a scrap piece of paper. Another scrap piece of paper in a glassine bag. This is a napkin from IKEA, and it was a little more red, bright red, and so I toned it down with that watercolor paint, and I just put a darker red over it, and then I stamped it on it, and I did some with the Tim Holtz, just rubbed a little ink over it to knock it down. But the napkins at IKEA, the print is only in one color. Like all the napkins that I bought everywhere else, you have the repeat 4 times on the napkin. Well, this one you only get it on one corner. So all the rest of the napkin was this dotted stuff. Here's a pocket that comes in the kit, and I just put a doily and a scallop punch. Another coffee dyed paper to journal on. This is a piece of tracing paper that I coffee dyed and just put washi tape on the edges. This is a tsunami rose, the flowers, and they're gorgeous. And just a tag. And this, I've made a whole album this way before, but I thought it would be fun to do the middle pages. You just take 2 envelopes. Take this out so you can see it. You take 2 envelopes and you stick the flap inside the other one and glue it, and it gives you a page. So I thought I'd try that for the middle of this album. This was just a scrap page again. It just slides in there. These are 2 butterflies on the string. And here's the other side of the envelope. Another piece of scrap paper from the kit. And this is a tuck spot. Another piece of tracing paper. This is a tuck spot. This paper has roses in the background and then lines. I don't remember where I got it. I downloaded it from somewhere. And I just made a tag. It says Imagine. Another glassine bag with this is the same one that's on the front of the journal. This is an envelope that comes with the kit, and I cut it apart and used the flaps other places. So that's one of the flaps. There's that label punch again. And then another piece of that rose line paper. This is another scrap. I made a belly band and then scrap of the paper. This slides under there. Another glassine bag with rickrack. One of the tags from the kit. Stamp The Story Begins. Another flap from that envelope I cut up. I put it on this piece of book paper banner, just some fibers and a little crocheted flower I made. Another tag from the kit. This is a tag from the kit, and these I ordered off Amazon. And I thought they'd be bigger, but they're little tiny things, but they work really well on this Tim Holtz bulb pin. And it's just a tuck spot. This is a collage I made of all the scraps on this card. This was just a paper, and I one of the ephemera and some cheesecloth, and I glued it all on a file folder. End of signature 1. Here's signature 2. Just a flip spot. Another paper I glued on a file folder to make a tag. Another piece of the leftovers. And hearts, and butterflies, and rickrack. On the plain pages I stamped just a little decorative stamp and then some script. And then that says Dream. These are, I went to a scrapbook store and they had a 75% off sale, and they had a package of these little file folders. I think there was like 5 in a package, and I only paid 75 cents for it. I love these things, and they fit perfect in these envelopes or bags. Another tuck spot. This edge punch is Martha Stewart on the edge punch, and then this one is the Stampin' Up scallop punch. It's another tuck spot. This is another collage card. This tuck spot, it's wider. I think you're supposed to be able to use it for a pocket or something, and I just cut it down and then put a scallop and a circle, cut those in half and glued them on there. This is a card from the kit. This was a banner that I cut in half to make ribbons and just made kind of a tuck spot there. This is what the envelope looks like that I cut all apart. Tag in there, and I stamped script on the inside. This is an envelope, the 2 envelopes that I stuck together to put in the middle, only this one is a legal size, so I folded up the bottom. That gave me a pocket here, a tuck spot here, another pocket here, and then there's a tuck spot here. This is a Tim Holtz giant tag with the Martha Stewart butterfly punch. And then there's just a tag here, circles on the string, and this is another leftover piece of paper. And then in this side of the envelope, here's another scrap piece of paper. And then this is the piece that I cut off of this. And I just stuck a butterfly on it and put it here. And then more scraps. I cut little butterflies here. It doesn't take much to add a lot of color to a page. And just those few touches. Another tracing paper. Your glassine envelope. This is a scrap of that rose lined paper. Scrap I turned into envelope. Another scrap of the black paper. This is another pocket that came in the kit. They come together, in 2 pieces, and I cut them in half. And then this paper, I got it wet. When I was painting on the napkin, I tipped over my glass and I got it wet. And you can't really see it here. It just looks a little distressed maybe. But when you open it up, it ran. I have an inkjet printer, and so the ink from this side ran to the other side, and I think it's really pretty. So that mistake turned out really good, and I think I may try and do it again. Because I'm trying it, it probably won't turn out so pretty, but I really liked what that did. Tuck spot from the kit. Another card. This was on the paper, I think. See right here? And so I cut it out and I glued it to a file folder and I made another tuck spot with it. This is another scrap, and these are little red butterflies that I did with scraps. This is a index card that's been coffee dyed. Another page I had left over for journaling. Tuck spot with the card in it. It's number signature 3. This is the middle of the envelope that I cut apart, and I just put a book page flower and some burlap. Another of that lined rose paper with the tag that comes in the kit. This was a scrap of paper, and I did those two in the pocket, or that one tag in the pocket, and it just needed another pop of color. So I took this scrap piece of paper and I punched out a square, put it on the angle, and just folded it over, and it just adds more color to that page. Some more of the to-do list. Another tag that says wish. This is another damask bag, and this is another scrap of paper. And let me tell you what happened to me doing this. Whenever there's anything lacy like this, I like to fold it over and glue it so it's double strength, so it's not so flimsy. And I had just gotten this new EK Success punch. It's really pretty, I like it. And so I folded over the paper and I let it sit for a while, and I punched it and went on my merry way. And a couple of hours later, I wanted to use this punch again, and it was stuck. It was stuck open. I couldn't punch anything. It was really hard. I thought, I've only used this twice and it's broken already. And so I tried to punch it. My husband tried to punch it, and it wasn't budging. And then I thought, well, I punched it with glue. Was that not dry? And so I ran it under hot water for a few minutes and I guess I glued it, because as soon as the glue got loose, it punched. So I need to learn to be more patient with my gluing, I guess, and let it dry before I punch anything. So if you have a punch that's not working, maybe you glued it and try running it under hot water for a little while. But it turned out cute. I really like that punch. Another plain pages for journaling. A little booklet from the kit. There's the back. Another tuck spot made from a book page. This again, just another scrap piece of paper to add a pop of color there. Tracing paper. Two more envelopes. Tuck spot here, pocket here. This, I just took a book page, folded it in thirds and glued it, and made a tag. Just another scrap piece of paper. Okay. There's the butterflies on a string. Another tuck spot. This, another scrap piece of paper to write on. The button and scallop punch. And paper. Page in the pocket. Okay, in each of my journals, I try to come up with something that I haven't done before or that I haven't seen before, just as kind of a challenge to myself. So in this journal, I've seen belly bands and I've seen flip outs. So I thought, why not combine them? And then I did 3. So all 3 of these little bands open up. So you can write in there. Sometimes there's things you just want to write that you don't want everybody to see. And so they're kind of little hidden. And then back behind it, on each side, there's a place to journal. So it just tucks right back there. And I glued it in the middle because it was a little too floppy for me. So instead of having one big spot to put paper back there, there's 2 smaller ones. But yeah, so my 3 flip open belly bands. So that was my new to me thing. Then I just put the flower punch paper book, and then there's fibers behind it. And here's just a Tim Holtz large ticket. Another one of those file folders. It says Discover. And a book page banner with Martha Stewart butterfly and some cheesecloth. To-do list. Another tuck spot. And then the back pocket with some more scraps on it. And then I used book page scraps and a Tim Holtz ticket and just collaged another tag. So that is my journal. I hope you enjoyed looking at it, and I guess 3rd time is the charm because we made it through the video. Thanks for watching and have a good day.